Listen, if you thought this was a PG-13 show, nigga, you walked into the wrong room on Monday nights. We don't give a fuck up in here. Break it down, break it down. My name is Toni Menage, a.k.a. Toni Marsh, a.k.a. Little Toni Marsh, born Antoinette Marshburn. Don't ever call me that. I have to kill you. Grew up in a musical household, and my aunts/sisters were very talented. My life is actually super complicated. My biological mother had me at 13 as a result of rape. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, adopted me, and I did not know that I was adopted. So I grew up believing that my grandparents were my parents and that my mother was my sister. You know, it's crazy because I meet most people in life that don't know what they want to do. Shuffle through life just trying to figure out where your lane is. I happen to know what I wanted to do since I can remember the path my life took. I literally, from elementary school, junior high school, to high school, went to all music schools. I went to Julia Richmond High School, a program called Talent Unlimited. It's an amazing school, and a lot of artists graduated from there. Gene Anthony Ray, I know Malik Yoba went there, Kale from TKA, and the amazing Lisa Lisa. My first record deal, I was 14. I had a record out called Video Burnout, aka Little Toni Marsh. And that just kind of happened as a result of me working with Stevie Wonder. When he first was introduced to the world, he was Little Stevie Wonder. And so they kind of tagged a little on. Yeah, that's kind of how this music thing began. And ever since, been going. First, pretty much female kind of hip hop R&B vibe. I was actually rapping in a song about video games. Got mistreated by the record company. Didn't get paid. Didn't make any fucking money. I think they gave me something like $200, which was all illegal because I was underage and they had me sign a check and they gave me the cash right on the spot. Some bullshit. But that's the music business. I mean, that's part of many stories like that. You've been hearing them your whole life about people getting robbed and Little Richard and you know, so many others. So it's definitely an education. And as I went along, if you're smart, you get smarter about it. And so I went to this audition. There were loads of singers waiting to audition. At the end of the night, there was no more singers, and my sister looks over at me. She goes, you know, I think you should probably just go and audition. You're here already. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. And I walk in, and Lisa tells this story so much better than I do. I'm going to actually have her tell you the story.
I was holding auditions for the Spanish Fly Tour, and well, just basic auditions for background vocalists. It was 2 days of auditions on the 52nd Street soundstage. I forgot the name of the place. Oh my God. But anyway, she knows what I'm talking about. And the last girl came on and I was not happy. I was not happy. So I turned around. I was saying to the guys, there's nobody that I like. Nobody meshed well. The vocals didn't blend well. And I kept saying, we're going to have more auditions because I didn't find anybody. And then all of a sudden, this voice started to sing, and I'm like, I turned around and I saw this person on the stage. She had a black bomber jacket. You remember the bubble jackets? And she had a beer in one hand and a cigarette in one. She had a hat to the back.
I walk in, I got a cigarette in one hand, a beer in one hand, and I walk in and I can see Lisa and Full Force, and they're all kind of talking. You could tell they're kind of like over it. They've been hearing singers all day. They weren't paying me any attention. And I walked over to the stage, and Alex Mosley, Sponador, was behind the piano, and he asked me what I was going to sing. And I sang Through the Fire by Shaka Khan.
And she was just blowing, and I yelled right there, that's it. That's the voice I need. And that's the day I officially met her and hired her and told her that, you're it for me.
I remember as I was singing, mind you, I never put the cigarette out. As I was singing, I could feel everybody in the room just kind of stop talking and turn around to look. I think they were surprised at the bigness of my voice coming from the visual of me. It was very contradicting. And when I finished, I said thank you, put my cigarette out on the floor very rudely, grabbed my beer, walked outside, went upstairs, sat on the stairs, lit another cigarette, and as I was sitting there smoking, I see Lisa running around looking for somebody, and she catches me sitting at the top of the stairs, and she looks at me, she goes, Toni, right? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I can't officially say this, but welcome to the group. And that's how I ended up with Lisa.
And she was 17 years old. 17. And since then, we've been inseparable.
I literally grew up on Lisa's tour. I grew up. I learned everything about basic shit, like grooming. Lisa and I were the only two females on the tour, so we shared a room. She taught me how to shave my legs, my underarm, shit that I wasn't thinking about. I was raw. And, putting on makeup myself, we'd be on the tour bus in between, towns, and having to jump off the tour bus onto the stage. I'm watching her do her makeup, and she's doing my makeup, and she's like, girl, you better learn how to you got to figure this out, because I got to do my makeup. I can't do yours and mine. And she was like a big sister who just kind of taught me the ropes, and I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Fast forward 30 plus years later, I'm still the MD for the band. I'm still in the group. It's been an amazing journey. I've had so many wonderful experiences. Just kind of lucked up on them. In between my Lisa years, I signed to MCA under a group called Soul Club. Had a record out produced by Terrible Duke Productions. They also produced Jocelyn Brown's Somebody Else's Guy. They produced a song for me called I Want Your Guy. I opened and closed the Rhythm and Blues Awards featuring Cameo, Bobby Brown. So I've had a nice run in this game. Growing up for me, I was very feminine visually for the most part, especially coming up through the music business. I didn't have a choice. But as I got older, the music business, as word got out that I was not into, men, I got turned away for tours. I got turned away for gigs. People didn't call to hire me. We got this movement now, the Me Too movement. The business has always been that. You're told from the time, I was told from the time I was coming up in the ranks, women gotta wanna be like you and men gotta wanna fuck you. And yeah, I've been in this game for quite some time. Eventually, the touring stopped, the record deals subsided, and I had to figure out how to gauge success right where I was. So as the years went by, I took on some day jobs, and then I started my own band. And I discovered the music industry in the West Village. Eventually, you know, working in this industry, I realized the money was in the weddings and in the corporate events and in that world. So I shinied up the band a little bit, you know, put on a couple of bow ties, some shoes, combed our hair, and I created Project Orange Music, which is the wedding band slash corporate band. Of course, you know, you don't want to sell to a nice, you know, couple. You want to walk up and say, listen, my band's called So Disrespectful. It just doesn't have the same appeal. But the great thing about that band is that you get the same fire that So Disrespectful has, because technically the same unit, just for a different purpose. I said, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night. You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Now we are Menage Works Inc. I've started a management side, a grooming side of the company. The very purpose of being an artist, art itself, is energy, and it's supposed to be exchanged. It's a sharing thing. And when you don't share, when you are selfish with it, it defeats the very purpose of the gift you were given. So I share. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate making music with you. You enjoy it. Play from your heart. How are you? Artists and musicians pass through my band, pass through my camp, have their first major experience on my stage, go off to do amazing things. You know, that I have a gift, I have an eye. I know how to pick great talent that goes off and does great things. I've had people in my band go off to play for, you know, Lady Gaga, JT Taylor of Kool and the Gang, Sean Paul. Some of my band members have played for Queen Latifah, have played with Prince. So I have the best of the best on my team.
You want to be taught by the best? Come out and see the best. Toni Menage, So Disrespectful. Been with me for 30 years. The girl is awesome. I learned a lot from you. Come on down. Again, Toni Menage, So Disrespectful.
I'm at Toni Village Underground, and I was playing with my band Alliance, and she came up to us afterwards and was like, I need this dude right here. And I was like, what does she want from me? First gig with Toni. They were all rough. You know, she was definitely, she knew what she wanted.
Toni has a crazy library of styles and different songs that she covers throughout her sets. And working with her made me aware to a lot of different styles and a lot of different songs that I never would have been aware of had I not worked with Toni.
She really knows how to work a crowd, and is not just a strong singer or musician, but also a strong entertainer. She has strong intensity every night. And, you know, as a musician, when you're playing behind someone, you learn from the person that's the band leader. And it inspires you, in fact, to play better.
What I was drawn to was Toni's energy. A lot of times you'll come across people who are doing the music thing like it's work, and then that really just takes the out of it. I mean, and Toni brings a really fiery, exciting, consistent energy to the table when she performs and when she holds events. And so that was the first thing that caught my eye, if you will.
Peter Guns, what up, what up, what up? You already know now. Toni is like my sister. So I don't want you to use the sister thing to discredit how I feel about her musically, how much I look up to her musically. I learned a lot from her musically. You know, people know I rap, but going to see Toni, you know, I had to steal a few things. She raps, she sings, she meshes things together that just work perfectly, and she has a gangster slash love slash she can take it anywhere, and it's something, and I admire her more than in most people that I see in the underground music scene. I think Toni is probably the most inspiring one to me because different genres she can take it. Plus, she give it that gangster touch. The way she conducts the band, she know what she wants, and a lot of people don't understand that. She know what she wants. So when you watch her and you look at her, talk to the bass player, the guitar player, drummer, she know what she want, and they know what she wants. So I love that. She don't settle.
She was definitely like, you know, Mark, if I want the song faster, play the song faster. You know, don't come against what feels good to me, you know? And it took me a long time to understand that.
I was allowed to grow. I was allowed to learn. I was allowed to make mistakes. I was allowed to be molded into something better than I came on as. And it's taken me a while to be able to put into words exactly what it is that I've attained from working with Toni. But I think it is best described as me figuring out my flow when it comes to performing live with a band, a room that's more so a party setting than it is like a show. You know, you always want to bring your showmanship, and I came with showmanship, but it's different when you're in a nightclub and you're singing for 5 hours straight and people are drinking and, you know what I mean, they want to hear this and they want to hear that like this, and their attention span is already short. But with Toni, she just like flips it and vibes it and medley songs, and she's directing the band to follow her, and it's very ballsy, for lack of a better word, quite honestly, but it's so effective.
Playing with a singer is a lot different than playing with a group of instrumentalists, and I had to learn how to do little subtle things to help enhance her vocal performance. Third thing I learned was stage presence. Toni has a great ability to connect with her audience, and by watching her do this, it helped me to hone my craft and to make myself a better stage performer as well.
So when you're playing in front of maybe a crowd of say 50 or 100 people at a small club, if you're able to bring the intensity level and be able to connect to that crowd, those skills translate to when you play to a bigger crowd.
I didn't take it for granted because I knew that if I could work for her, I might be able to work for other artists.
Since that time playing with Toni, I've had a couple of successful auditions that have enabled me to play on a number of world tours and a number of TV shows in high-profile situations all over the world.
She told me how to respect other musicians, how to respect other artists, because she demanded it.
So over time, these are the things that helped me to lead me to success. These are things that I did over time and never forgot about. So for these three things that I learned from you, Toni, I say thank you.
Working with Toni and So Disrespectful was really like coming back home. I found myself again. I found my voice again. In that, the welcoming of the no ego, you know, being.
And you can't have ego to do that. To be at that level that she was at in her career, and then find your humbleness and come back to a stage where, listen, you know.
I mean, it's not like it's about holding my craft again and I found me again. But it's amazing. That's priceless. It is priceless. All we are is the dash in the middle of the day that we're born and the day that we die. And for me, how I analyze myself is, what do I want to be in that dash? I want to be remembered for being passionate about music, for loving music, for sharing music, for leaving an impression on the people who've passed through my life.
Thank you, ladies, it's so disrespectful.
I want people to go, yo, she was the shit. She gave her heart to it every single time she hit that stage. You know, she left it all there. That's what I want to be remembered for. And I want to be remembered for being tough about shit that I care about, for being a person who takes a stand for something I believe in.
We're gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna take you on a journey tonight.